Hello everyone, this is Angie Schroeder up in Northeast Nebraska. Going to, give my take or my outlook on Summerhill, the school where basically there's total freedom. It's a democratic school where the students demonstrate the power. They're allowed to be themselves, freedom to attend lessons or not. As I'm talking about this and saying this, in my head I'm going, wow, this is kind of cray-cray. School where basically, and I agree with this, play is of the utmost importance for growth and development as a child is experimenting, creating, and adventure, and going out and doing some adventures out on the playground or in the classroom. Basically, as I look at this, how does this compare to a modern day school? First of all, I want to talk about a little bit about Neil's philosophy of summer school. Child rearing, where it's freedom for the child. It's self-governing and democratic. Basically, the students decide on the curriculum, the behavior codes, and the punishments for the behavior codes, or infractions of the behavior codes. Neil informs basically that everything is connected socially, group-wise, and life, including punishment for social offenses, and that's settled by students at general meetings and for votes to invoke a punishment. No one, Neil states, has ever seen a child basically that is self-regulated. Basically, most children or all children have been molded by their parents, teachers, and society and educators. Books are of the least importance at Summerhill. Neil he states that the only importance is the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, and the rest should be tools, clay, sports, theater, paint, and just freedom to play. Basically, Neil's ideas for him and his wife basically was to make the school fit the child, not the child fit the school, in other words. Basically, days began at 8:15 and lasted until about 1. And again, no child was required to attend class. So freedom to choose. You make the choices. Afternoons, children had free play, free to work in workshops, free to play games, free to explore, and a lot more. To me, it's hard to visualize what it may have been like. To me, it looked like it, or it sounded like, or it read like it could be crazy, but it seemed like it was pretty structured in my sense. My thoughts were, how can students who are not required to go to class, who are free to play, how can they succeed later in life? Well, there was lots of readings and statistics that Neil had given of successes that some of his students had later on in the work life in industrial area. I think there was maybe possibly a couple that went into educating or coming back and looking at continuing what Neil had been, foreseeing or visioning in the future. Play was the utmost importance as well. I think I mentioned that earlier. Play in terms of fantasy, opening up their creative minds. In me, as I think of this as play, maybe I'm wrong by saying this, we played a lot of cops and robbers when I was growing up. So I think that was terms of play and creativity. Similarities I found in Summerhill School and a modern school. One was that in Summerhill, children were grouped by age in 3 groups, and at my school, which I guess is a modern school, I call a modern school, we go pre-K to 12. That's how ours are grouped. Another similarity is, I guess, one is that Summerhill calls their administrator headmaster, and Pierce calls theirs, or a modern school would be that of a principal. Students, I guess, well, not I guess, I see every day that students have the same struggles in life. That would be the same. Basically, then being taken out of one school, transferred to another school, and they all seem to go through creating what is called confusion in their life, disappointment, anger, and resentment, until basically that child gets used to the new environment they have been brought to. One difference where I teach, summer schools run as a democracy, and the students demonstrate the power, and if there's an infraction of the rules, students decide repercussions or punishment for violating the rules. At a modern school, educators and principals, administrators enforce the rules, help demonstrate and model correct behavior codes and incorrect behavior codes or infractions of those. If a student is seen as breaking the codes, and they are reported to the principal, and then he necessitates the appropriate punishment or repercussion for that student that is stated in our student handbook. Other difference, student has a choice to attend class if she wants to at Summerhill, whereas at a modern school it is required, basically, unless you have been invoked a punishment for an infraction, and you may have an out-of-school suspension or an in-school suspension. What I think about play is of the utmost importance. I think we see play in everyday life. I think as educators, as adults, we play and we don't even realize that we are playing and we are exploring. I believe children need lots of opportunities for free play to mature into young, responsible adults for lifelong learning, living, and working. As I have children every day, I observe children every day. Basically, 7th through 12th grade, I do interject and have some correspondence with elementary, but I am more the 7th through 12th grade educator, physical education and health educator. I observe every day. It's indisputable, in my opinion, that children require opportunities to play, basically to enhance healthy growth and development, to be a success in society, to live and create and find their dreams. Play, I believe, enhances their chances of success. Another thing I want to add is as I watched a couple videos, I think it was Brock or maybe Amy, they interjected, one of them, it might have been Brock, that children need more experiences in the outer world, like, say, ag. He talked about some type, maybe motor engines or something. I just want to interject that we have something called real world seminars, and those are like split block or half 2-week classes, 3-week classes possibly, where students take these classes known as CAD, auto mechanic, engine repair, house repair. They have opportunities to go to different businesses and learn what that business is all about, and what the entrepreneur, sorry, little stutter in here, can't get that word out, but what they visioned as themselves and what got them to that point of owning this business. And then sometimes these kids go out and they have something called, they call it a cadet experience. So they're down there maybe as teachers they have cadet teachers, we have cadet coaches getting that experience. Or what do they want to do in life? What is their goals? How are they going to reach those goals? That's how we try to instill our values with our kids that we have here at Pierce High School. Thank you and have a good day.